creating a learning environment that enables every child to discover his or her unique gifts and talents.
Good evening, Dr. Kramer, Chair Marsh, and school board members. We are students from Smithfield High School's Earth Science and Dual Enrollment Chemistry classes. We would like to share with you our work with CNU's Fear to Hope research program. According from their mission statement, fears of these impacts are well-founded but can serve to motivate science-based solutions that bring rational hope. I'm Peyton Lewis.
I'm Grace Sequoia.
I'm Sophia McCain.
I'm Henry Hinkle.
And I'm Maximo Duffy.
Climate change is already affecting our coast, killing trees, shrinking shorelines, and changing habitats around us. This can sound scary, but it also helps to motivate us to make action. That's why we partnered with Fear to Hope. CNU mentors helped us do our research on problems like erosion and rising salinity. Chemistry students studied the changes in our water, while earth science students looked at how those changes affect our environment. Through this project, we collected real data and worked with college students. This gives us hope because we aren't just learning about climate change, we're helping to find solutions.
For over 20 years, professors at CNU have been taking samples with students to Ragged Island and to study its decay. And to be very upfront with you, the island is dying at alarming rates. A CNU professor named Dr. Whiting described it as pieces of the island going missing every single year. This becomes a problem as the ecosystem, as well as nearby residents, rely on the island for protection. The decay of the island, Ragged Island, allows for excess flooding to destroy the ecosystem as well as property of residents in Isle of Wight County. Without action, the marsh will continue to grow and overtake, Ragged Island will continue to shrink, and Isle of Wight's ecosystem and residents will continue to suffer from it. We need more support towards action like CNU Warriors Program and Fear to Hope, which spreads awareness, takes data samples, and allocates resources to the protection of Ragged Island and therefore our ecosystem as well as residents.
After collecting data in Ragged Island, we had post-interview questions. As students, we learned that climate change is already impacting our homes. Our findings brought both concern and hope. Peyton explained her concern with erosion and salinity killing our plants, while Liam stated his hope of people working to help the environment now. Most importantly, we learned that we were inspired to act, as I explained my take in conserving water usage because of increased water salinity. Altogether, these voices help to remind us that the future starts with the choices we make today.
We studied on two different types of trees, Loblolly pines in the marsh and Atlantic white cedars in the classroom. Both of them were native to the marsh, and our idea was we will test and see how salinity affects their growth by having a group of tiny Atlantic white cedars grow without any salinity, and then another group with different levels of salinity. And while we were there, we mostly saw loblolly pines at the marsh, and a lot of them had a lot of brown, not entirely healthy-looking leaves fell onto the ground and all over the place. Not much of them had branches. Some were short. Some of the trees were short. And we decided to collect their cores and see their rings for it.
We used an increment board to take thin samples from trees near the marsh. These samples show tree rings, which tell us the tree's age and when it experienced stress. Smaller rings mean the trees struggle to grow, possibly because of the rising saltwater from storms and flooding. We used an increment bore on the loblolly pine because it is visually easier to see, and they saw the same effects as the Atlantic white cedars. We also noticed dead plants and less green in the area, which supports our idea that increasing salinity is harming the trees. By studying these cores, we're learning how climate change is affecting our environment and why it's important to protect it.
From the tree cores, we can learn what age the tree is and events that happen in its life. And looking at the smaller rings, we can see what days were its most stressful and what days it was more calmer. The smaller rings are the stressful ones, and we could compare those rings with recent events like rain or storm and see if the rain and storm carrying salt is what's harming the trees with more salinity in their roots. Smaller rings are the stressful ones, and we could compare those rings with
One of the most important parts we saw at Ragged Island was the ghost forest, and these are one of the largest signs of our environment actively changing at Ragged Island. And on the slide, you can see in the picture, the ghost forests are just groups of trees surrounded by marshland, and you can see that these are here to serve as warnings for the future of the rest of our coastal forests if no action is taken. Our sea levels are rising, marsh is actively taking over our forests, and more trees are actively dying off. And if no action is taken, we will eventually feel the impact directly in our communities as we see sea levels rise and the forests we rely on in our community slowly die off. So allowing us to study these ghost forests has helped us to realize the urgency of the issue, and we encourage everyone here to be even the slightest more mindful in their actions daily as we battle this issue. Hello. So we actually encourage everyone here to join us again at the CNU Symposium in April. We will continue our research and have a more formal presentation there in the form of a poster. We'll also have some of the CNU mentors and more professionals in the topic to answer plenty of questions, and thanks for your time.
Hey, I need some education. Where is Ragged Island?
Just before you go, what's the GRB on the right side?
So Ragged Island is the marsh/forest land over there near the James River Bridge. If you know where they just built that new sort of beach area where they just put all those rocks down, that's actually some of the steps they're taking to counteract the sea level rise over there.
Opposite side of the oyster?
Yeah, right there.
Oyster bed?
There's the oyster bed, and on the other side is all that marshland.
And what is it that causes the increase in salinity?
So that is the effect of, like we mentioned a couple times, they talked about rain, and the sea level rising itself is obviously the James River has a far higher salinity than a lot of our freshwater sources. So the sea level is rising and actively moving forward into our land. So it is getting into the groundwater, which many of the forests, the trees grow off their water and they have fresh groundwater, which is now having a lot different of an effect now as higher salinity levels killing the trees as they don't have the same healthy environment to grow in.
Thank you.
You're very
Any
welcome.
other questions? Appreciate y'all taking the time to school us a little bit.